What do you do when you have unexpected expenses? You have a sinking fund, but it's not enough. If you want to know what you do, stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Mrs Vee, and I am sharing a journey to early retirement and building generational wealth here on my channel. And I just want to come on and talk to you about what do you do when you have unexpected expenses, but you do not have enough money in your sinking funds to cover those expenses, because everything is not an emergency, guys. Don't panic. Everything is not an emergency. And the main thing I want you to get out of this video is that you cannot make financial decisions with your emotions. No, that's not a good thing to do. I used to do that prior to the cash envelope system, and I almost did it last month when I started having some financial expenses come up, and I had to just stay grounded, calm down, and relax. So in January, I say I tell my husband we in a financial crisis right now. The reason why I say that because we have a lot of things that's going on. Even though we have the sinking funds, even though we have money saved, and we are intentional with our money, sometimes you still have to pivot and make different decisions. So in January, I'm looking at this paper because a lot happened, so I'll be looking down a little bit. Okay, in January, I put my car in the shop. Let me go back in preference. My husband and I have 3 vehicles, all of my older vehicles. They're all paid for, and our mortgage is paid for. So we sort of kind of debt-free, but not really debt-free, because we still have IRS, our old IRS. I have some medical bills, and we purchased a rental property. So we still have debt, but we just don't have that debt, the automobiles and the mortgage. So that's very helpful. But, so we have a 2006 Avalanche. That's a truck my husband drives to work. And I drive a 2008 Lexus. And then we always keep an SUV for when we go out of town. And we like to keep a third vehicle just to have an extra vehicle. Because sometimes, you know, when you have car repairs, you don't have time to call. And like if my husband go outside in the morning at 5 a.m., he got to be at work at 5:45, and he got a 20-minute commute. He doesn't have time to call someone to help him fix a flat tire. He just jump in another car and just go on to work, because his job, he can only get 3 points, and that's not much. So we always keep a third vehicle, which has been great. So we always try to keep a car, a truck, and an SUV. Is that necessary? No, but that's something that we choose to do in our life. So yeah. So my car has been leaking oil. It's got like, all the vehicles got 200-some thousand miles on. Let me just go ahead and say, I know that these vehicles are not going to live, are not going to run forever, and they're not going to go without needing repairs. I know that. I just prefer not to have a car payment if I don't have to have one. It's just something I don't care for. So when the cars start breaking down, I'm not surprised. I mean, they're older vehicles, and even if they were up-to-date vehicles, it's a vehicle. It's a man-made object. I know that at some point I'm going to have to do car repair. That's why I have a car sinking fund. Okay, back to my car. So my car had been leaking oil, about 4 or 5 years. So I just always keep some oil in my trunk in case I get that oil, the low oil engine light comes on. I just put however many quarts in there. My husband showed me how to do it. And so I finally decided to put it in the shop to see where the oil was leaking from. They said it was from some gaskets or something, and something else that I don't know about. Anyway, ended up I needed some new tires also, and then they had to replace the serpentine belt and had to do something else. The repairs came up to $1,391. I had $900 in my car maintenance sinking fund. Like, my goal was like $1,000. So of course I didn't have enough in my sinking fund, so I took the money that I normally would have used to invest. I had $600 to put towards some additional investments, like my Roth IRA. I had just completed the end of January reallocation of my saving challenges, so I used that. So I went ahead and settled that bill, $1,391. Okay, finally got that done. Got my car back. It's running fine. And our bed broke. The whole frame broke. So we had to get another bed frame. I chose not to get an entire bedroom suite because we just needed a bed frame. And we have the bed that has the drawers at the bottom, you know, to save space. And so I just ordered one off Amazon. It's okay. It's not like a high quality and it's not cheap. So I did like a medium in the middle. Just so we won't be sleeping on the floor. So that's that. And so I used the money, the remaining money from the money I would have used for investment, to pay the bed off. Because remember, I'm investing money that I no longer need. You know, that I don't need right now. But because I hadn't already invested that money, I chose to use it for that. Okay, so we got the new bed, got it all set up, and threw the other one away because it wasn't even worth trying to give to anybody or anything. And so that happened in January. So the first week of February, I'm out of town. I work out of town. And my husband comes on the weekends, like 2.5 hours away from where I live. At this time, my car was out of the shop, but I had already driven the SUV out of town because the car was in the shop at the time. So I had the SUV out of town. My husband has his truck, so my daughter's car messed up, so I told her she could use my car when we get it out the shop. So we got it out the shop, and she ended up using my car. Car riding fine, but she did say it kept smelling like some gas. Like she could smell gas on the inside of the car. I was like, maybe they put too much of something in it and just got to burn off. So I ain't think none of it. Okay, so I'm at work. Well, I left work. I'm in the SUV, and the traction light comes on the SUV. You know, the little traction light with the little squiggly lines. I don't really know what that means. But anyway, so I tried to turn it off. I couldn't turn it off. My husband tried to turn it off. Okay. So we just went on about our business because he's there. This is the weekend. So he's there in his truck by this time. Okay. So ended up had to have the SUV towed to a shop in the area where I worked, and I don't know anything about this area, so I just went ahead and took it to a place that was across the street from the hospital where I work, and we get a discount, so I took it there. So I'm stranded pretty much. My husband's still down there, so instead of him leaving me there with no way to work, he went ahead and called in for 2 days. Okay. And come to find out, they ended up being off the whole week anyway, so that was good. So I had a way to back and forth to work because he was still there in his truck. So we finally go to get the SUV out of the shop to see what's wrong with it. It's like $5,000 worth of work that we need to have done. Like something going on with the struts and the lifters, and the $5,000 was too much. We decided it was too much to put towards this vehicle because it's a 2013 Yukon Denali. It was paid for. That was the last automobile we paid for. We decided we wasn't going to do that. You can still drive it, but it rides real rough. Like a little more rough than I'm used to. So I drove it back to the apartment where I stay in when I work down there. And I told my husband, so what I'll do is, since we're not ready to sell it or anything like that, I'll just use that as a backup vehicle when I'm at work. Say like if I go outside and my car don't crank, I'll just put it along in that truck until we decide what we're gonna do. So, cause it was not in condition for me to drive it back home. The technician said it might make it and it might not. I was like, no, I ain't trying to be on the side of the road. So anyway, so it's stuck down there where I work it. So I get back home. Me and my husband finally got everything done. We drive back home in his truck, Remember my daughter had my car. So my daughter started telling me about different stuff going on in my car that wasn't going on prior to me putting it in the shop. And I had to put it back in the shop. So we down 2 vehicles. So we down to 1. So I work out of town, so I have to have a vehicle. And my husband have to have a vehicle while he's here. So we decided to go ahead and just pull the trigger, and we purchased a new vehicle. So I purchased another SUV. I got a Tahoe. I knew what payments I wanted. I don't care how much you see that I make on paper. I know how much I want to pay because I have other things I want to do besides make a car payment. So I got the car payment kind of sort of in the range that I wanted. So now we have some new debt, which is fine. At some point, we knew we were going to have to buy a new car at some point, but I did. In all honesty, I wanted to pay cash for the next vehicle, but I chose not. I probably could have paid cash, but I'm not going to exhaust all my resources trying to pay cash for a car when it's going to leave me with nothing. So we were not in a position to pay cash for a vehicle right now. So we went ahead and made payments, financed it. And what I did is, so that my insurance would not be so high, I dropped all the coverage, the full coverage on all three vehicles, the three prior vehicles that we have, all of them have liability insurance only. And I only have full coverage on the newer vehicle. And that I was paying $208 a month. And now the lady said we'll be paying $205. So I thought that was great. And then the amount that the car payment is, that's the amount that we have left over each week in our buffer anyway, so it's not going to be a problem paying the car payment. I just prefer not to pay a car payment. I rather, whichever one you say, put it in, the stock market. But you can't always do everything you need to do. You got to do what's necessary. So what should you get from this video after I'm saying all that? Whenever you have what you think is a crisis, emergency, or situation, stop, take a deep breath before you make any decisions. Try not to panic. It's natural for us to panic, but what this cash envelope system has taught me, and my close relationship with God, is just to wait. Of course, depend on Him. That's if you believe in God. And make your decision based on information that you have, not your emotions. Because emotionally, I was just like, when I first was going through all this, I was like, I ain't going to be able to do no savings challenge, can't pay off no debt, can't pay this medical debt down. So I was just like, wait a minute, you still can do all those things. Your first car payment is not due until 45 days out, and then my car insurance is still the same. Nothing has changed. We just have 4 vehicles instead of 3. That's the only thing that's changed. I was panicking for nothing. And now I feel like we have a more reliable vehicle. Of course, this new vehicle, anything can happen to it because it's man-made as well. I try not to be so dependent on man-made objects, but I do feel a little better that it's a newer model truck. I'm not into buying the brand new cars. My friend was like, buy you a brand new car. No, ma'am. I've never had a desire to purchase a new car because, number one, we don't sell our cars. So it don't matter about the value of the car because we keep our cars until they can't move. So it's not going to benefit me to pay all that money for a brand new vehicle because I don't resell my cars. I don't trade my cars in. I don't do any of that. So that's not beneficial to us. So we did what we thought was best. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comment section if the cash envelope system has helped you make better decisions as far as your finances. And yeah, we have to keep the emotion. It's okay to have the emotions, feel what you feel, but try not to make the decisions based on your feelings. That's it. This is Mrs Vee. I always show you fun ways to save money and pay off debt. So I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing. Everything's still the same. We just have a little more debt. But you know it's going to go into rotation to be paid off early just like everything else. So yeah. Thank you and have a nice day.